Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here. It's Wednesday the 10th of October. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. As always, the site's get free of charge by the adverts you're seeing around the screen here, and when you click on an advert or you use an advert, it's that generates the revenue that keeps the site free of charge. So thank you for coming back to the site regularly, for using the charts, using all the information on here. The Arctic sea ice extent chart shows how we're starting now to pick up. Still nowhere near the 2007 minimum, but the amount of sea ice is increasing, and if we just extend that line forward, probably give it another couple of weeks, and we're going to be into near normal conditions, although still on the lower side of the amount of Arctic sea ice. Of course, a story came out yesterday, well actually it was the day before, wasn't it, about the Arctic multi-decadal overturning, which is similar to the AMO, but it's basically saying that that's the reason for the decrease of Arctic sea ice. Now, of course, you can't then make the link to humans and climate change. Obviously, many people do, but this is all perhaps part of just a normal natural cycle. We just don't have enough data yet to prove it, but we're seeing that starting to increase. The Arctic Oscillation, which is a measure of winds around the pole over the next 14 days, it's the bottom chart here that we want to look at. That blue line going through the middle here is the mean. You can see it's dropping into neutral to just weekly negative territory. Now that's indicative of cold air moving off the pole and being able to slip its way further southwards, and that's what's going to come through the British Isles, but it is going to be picked up by strengthening jet stream that's going to be going across the Atlantic during next week. So the cold air actually is held further north. It's held through to the north of Scotland, although we are going to be cool right the way through the British Isles. And we've seen a change in the patterns through the models overnight. This is the chart from today. This is a 500 millibar flow. You see the weak ridge there out to the west of the country just at the moment. This is the trough that's heading our way, and you'll notice how that trough swings through during the course of tomorrow into Friday, and it's that brings the more unsettled conditions. But just notice here, look, the jet stream developing across the Atlantic where the lines are close together here, coming into the southern parts of the UK and into the northern parts of Europe, and you notice how that kind of hangs around during the first part of the forecast period here and becomes quite a notable feature by the time we get through to next Wednesday. And then it's still staying in place, look, right the way through next week. Just look at the strength of the jet stream there coming off Newfoundland, heading down there into the Bay of Biscay, with a low centre of heights across the north of the British Isles, indicating that we stay in these more unsettled conditions for some time to come. Now, it looks as if next week is going to be wet and possibly windy. We could find some gales around at times, but let's just go through the charts. This is this morning at 7 o'clock. We've got a weak front that's affecting southern and western parts of the country just now, but high pressure out towards the east. Another cold one last night, but I think that's the last of the frosts for the next couple of nights. Through the course of today, the high is still going to be towards our east, but out towards the west we're going to have some cloud and some outbreaks of rain. Now that rain is going to be edging its way eastwards through Thursday. Some heavy bursts of rain around in northern and western areas of the country, with low pressure moving in, and the rain reaching the east probably early in the afternoon. I think the heaviest of the rain tending to be always across western parts of Scotland, Northern Ireland, into parts of Wales, and also into northwestern parts of England, and quite breezy as well on the leading edge of this low. But notice the ridge building in. That's going to come through Ireland, I think, during the course of the afternoon, and the ridge will build its way slowly eastwards as the low goes northwards during the course of the night. I think some pretty heavy rain overnight again across northern and eastern Scotland, but for many parts of the country it should become drier with clear spells, but just some showers affecting western and southern coasts. Now for Friday itself, we've still got low pressure centred across the north of the country, more heavy rain for northern and eastern Scotland. Elsewhere it's brighter with some sunny spells, some showers for western coasts of Ireland, southern coast of England, western coast of Wales as well, and one or two just running up the southern coast of England. Pretty breezy down to the south and a much cooler day as well. I think sunshine inland and just isolated showers, but feeling cool for all. And then heading into Saturday, low pressure is still across Scotland, so that brings more rain across northern Scotland. Elsewhere it's bright, we've got some bright spells around, I think some broken cloud though, and also the risk of some outbreaks of rain affecting southeast England running onto southern coasts. Also some showers for western parts of Wales and southwest England. And then through Saturday afternoon, when it becomes brighter, but this low slips south. I think northern England probably cloudy with outbreaks of rain. Brighter to the south with some sunny spells, but these western coasts are always troubled by some showers and some more persistent rain moving into the west of Ireland late on in the day as well. On Sunday, a bit of a question mark over Sunday. Low pressure looks as if it's going to be east of the country. I think we'll find some rain around across England and also Wales in the morning. That should clear its way eastwards into the afternoon, but I think a dull, cold day for many parts of England and Wales, and probably for the east of Scotland as well, but brighter out towards the west. Now into Monday, hints of the low just clearing away towards the east, and then we get into a ridge of high pressure that's going to be building in from the west. Now, there's a bit of a question mark over how this develops. It could be that if the ECM WF model is correct, and this is the ECM for the same time look, if we just go back to midnight, notice how it's making more of this low out towards the east. It brings in a colder northerly flow. So my feeling on this at the moment for Monday is that it probably is going to be quite a cold day. I think some showers around eastern coast of the country, but dry weather certainly moving in as the ridge of high pressure builds in ahead of the storm system, which looks like approaching late on in the day. And then we find some rain and some very strong winds moving eastwards overnight into Tuesday. I think most of it's gone during the day on Tuesday, so actually daylight hours Tuesday bringing sunny spells, some showers around to western coast, but elsewhere generally dry. Could be a few showers around southern coast as well, but just look what's coming in again through Tuesday evening. Big storm system comes through, bringing the risk of some heavy rain, some strong winds, gale force winds, or even up to severe gale force, and heavy rain affecting many western and southern areas. That sweeps its way eastwards overnight, and then we find low pressure, quite a deep area of low pressure to the west of Scotland by the time we get in towards Wednesday, bringing a day of blustery showers across most of the country, although actually central and eastern areas probably not seeing too many of them. And the low is still in place even as we head in towards next Thursday. And the problem with this pattern is that once we get into the jet stream, so once we get into a jet pattern such as this one, such as that, the problem is that it's very difficult to break it down, and once it's in, it can be that it lasts for some time. So I need to get another day under its belt of this pattern developing, but all models are in agreement, so it kind of suggests that confidence is fairly good that this is what's going to happen. And if that's the case, then we really need to be thinking now towards the 23rd, 24th of October before conditions potentially start to settle down. What is interesting is that on this chart for a week on Friday, you can see here how many reds are on this chart. These are above normal heights, and look, they extend from the Pacific, cross pole, down through Greenland, down through eastern parts of the States, and into the western parts of Russia as well. So there is lots of high pressure around, lots of blocking high pressure around. It's just that we get stuck into a bit of a rut with a jet stream to the south of us. What we need to watch for is the potential for this high to build eastwards, and I think what would happen is this ridge here probably builds north, pumps up this high all the time, deepens a trough into Europe, and I think what we could find is that we go more into a northerly flow around the 23rd or 24th with high pressure building out towards the west, and that then brings us cooler days, some frosty nights potentially, but dry weather on a northerly wind to end the month. So we're focusing on this last week of the month possibly being a more settled spell. So I'll leave you with that for now, but thanks again for watching. As I said, the sites get free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen, so while you come around regularly, it keeps it free of charge, and also please do spread the word to your friends, let them know that the site is here. Thanks again for watching, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.